Hey tubers, welcome back for another adventure. So I've been kind of like finishing some projects or losing interest in them, and now I'm thinking I need to pick out something new to play with. And with that, I'm gonna take a quick walk around my hoard of all-terrain vehicles here, and I'd like you guys to join me. Some of you have mentioned that I have a lot of projects and that if I live 100 years, I'm never going to be able to finish them all. That's true. That's true. But I do enjoy them, so here they are. Yeah, this thing I was going to turn into kind of a lawn truck and then decided against it. Yeah, we got to see what becomes of that. The 300 runs. This is that big red we already worked on. We got it running. We got to see what we're going to do with that. I'm thinking I might pull the tires off the ATC 200 we just worked on and put them on there and put the smaller tires on the ATC 200, and that should get it rolling again. We got the Timberwolf running. We need to finish it. I don't know, that's a Yamaha that needs an engine. That's a 300 Honda 300EX. I got it running. They had just rebuilt the engine and had an electrical problem. And after I got it running, I kind of put it aside. I should drag that out and do something with it. I should do something with the sled before winter comes again. The golf cart I got running. I still have that switch to change. This one now runs. Most of the stuff in here ran until I put that motorcycle and that motorcycle in front of it. Two other projects. The two-wheelers are good winter projects. They don't take up as much space. Here's a whole boulevard of lost dreams. Tough box full of bees. Yamaha blown engine. Flung a rod. Another Yami. That one needs an engine too. It's cooling off nicely. Generator project. Diesel. TRX 250. I got this to the point where all I really had to do was put the plastic on it. I should get that done. I got the Odyssey running and did nothing with it. This big Mike's Hillbilly Homestead. I got it from him. I got it running. The gears are shot for the electric starter, but the Kickstarter works. This is the one that rolled over on me. I think I got it running too. Got to change the front forks. TRX 250. For some reason this one's not quite coming to me where I got it from. It's a local. Yeah, I don't recall where I got that from. And then this is the new Hoard. Sled. Supposedly all it needs is a carburetor, a Bayou, no spark. Honda TRX 200 SX. This one I should drag out. This should probably be next. It should get dragged over to the garage. I think that was a Facebook deal. And the kid that worked on it these are known for throwing the chain, wrecking the case, and it sure enough did that. And then he worked on it, and somehow he said something about the pulse generator getting damaged. plus the case. I got that 200S in there. I've been doing a lot of Honda 3-wheelers. I think I'm going to hold that one for a while. So what do you guys think of doing this TRX 200SX next? Drag it out, see what it needs. I also have a loose motor that I bought over eBay that I should try out. So if we bolt that up to the frame, that wouldn't be a bad thing. I've also been had a few videos requested. One of them on rebuilding the rear end on these 3-wheelers, particularly the 200S. Yeah, the problem with that is most of the time I swap them out. I have enough spares where I could swap them out. They're a real pest to rebuild because those really big axle bolts are hard to get loose. I've had some success with cutting them with Dremels, getting them loose, and then kind of welding them back together again and using them. Unbolting them from the frame is tough. What you have is on the brake drum side, a lot of times as you're trying to spin the bolts out, the inner bolt that's welded to the flange of the brake drum, so to speak, a lot of times they break loose and then they just spin, so you got to cut them off. And then once you take the whole thing apart and get everything to slide apart, assuming the bearings aren't too mushroomed up in there, once you do all that, then you got to weld bolts back on. Yeah, they're tough. They're tough. So whenever possible, if I could get a spare 200S rear, I tend to get them, and I tend to hoard them because you always seem to need them. I'm kind of looking at these tractors a little bit, and I got another project in mind. I'll show you just to give you a preview. Arnie Palmer had a tractor that he used. It was in a bunch of Jiffy Lube commercials, I guess back in the 90s. I have enough components to build one of those. So rather than base it on a all-terrain vehicle, a China quad, I was thinking of basing it more on a tractor situation. I do have a few diesel motors floating around, so I've also been thinking that I should smash a diesel on it. 100 amp GM 1-wire alternator, big battery. That way you start the diesel, charge the big battery up, and then one could put a inverter on that and actually get, about 1,000 watts of power off of it. And with an inverter, the power would be really nice and clean, and you could actually run appliances all. And a diesel only doing 1,000 watts, heck, that'd go forever on a gallon of fuel. I'm able to cut my entire lawn with that 3-cylinder diesel, and I don't think it burns a gallon of fuel, barely a gallon of fuel to do my whole lawn. So that way I would have a truck, right, a lawn truck or a golf truck or a golf tractor, whatever you want to call it, and I would also have an ability to generate power for when I need it, and with the inverter, run some small stuff. This is the TRX 200SX motor I bought, and after we look at the other one, I should smash this on that frame, see if this motor's any good. It's too late to give feedback, so I'm already screwed, but I should still test it, right? What's the use of owning it and not knowing the story? It's better to own it and know that it's good. Even if it's on something it may or may not stay on, but if it's functioning and everything works good, that's good knowledge, just in case I find a really pretty roller and that motor would be available for it. Anyway, so this is the walk. I think the TRX 200SX is the next project. I'm sure after seeing this mess, you guys are going to have a lot of comments, and I thank you in advance for them. And once again, I stick with my mantra. The name of the channel is Hoarding Mayhem, because I am a bit of a crazy hoarder. Take care now. Bye.